we have talked about what intentional faith means, which is to just basically go after God on purpose. We're going to go after God on purpose. In the beginning, we've talked about the woman with the issue of blood, and that intentional faith led to her immediate healing. We talked about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and we talked about their if statement. Even if they throw us into that fire, we still not going to bow down to what you have to say. And so we learned that intentional faith led to our immediate healing. And tonight, I just want to talk to you real quick. All right? I want to talk to you from John chapter 11. It's the story of Lazarus. It's the story that we all know. Lazarus gets sick. He's super cool with Jesus. They tight. And then all of a sudden, Jesus gives word that his boy Lazarus is about to die. Yes, he delayed his walk. He stopped for a minute. But then he eventually made it there. And I laugh at God because when I first started talking about intentional faith, I said, am I really going to find enough if statements to make this work? And so when I got there, I realized that Martha had an if statement. Martha's if statement was simply, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would still be alive. If you had been here. What got me on that was that her sister, Mary, said the exact same thing. Her sister, Mary, said the exact same if. So when the Bible tells us that when two or more come together in agreement, it's not lying. Yes, I will tell you right now, their faith has some doubt in it. But have all of us been dealing with some doubt right now? Have all of us been going through a pandemic right now where we've had our faith, but doubt has got in? Yeah. I just wanted to come and let you know tonight that you know what? God is still going to respond to your faith. Mary and Martha in that moment felt like they had lost everything. Has anybody been there where you just feel like I've lost everything? Maybe you still have certain practical things, but have you felt like on the inside, man, I just feel like everything is gone? I know I went through a season like that. It was about 10 years ago. I had just became a ministry leader at Crossover Church. It was in October, and guess what? Our pastor had a leadership meeting in December. And in December, I showed up to the leadership meeting, and that was one of the worst years I've ever had. I'm talking about all my friends had deserted me. My job was giving me the lowest amount of money I've ever made in my life. I was driving a Lincoln Cadillac where every time I got into the car, I had to get into the car, open up the hood, put a whole gallon of water in just to drive because I wasn't going to be able to get it fixed. That's how I was living life. But I was filled with faith that God could do something because all I had was my faith. Anybody ever been in a season where all you had was your faith? Can I tell you right now that day I walked into the leadership meeting. I saw all these leaders. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I know I don't belong here, but I've only been a leader for 2 months, but I'll just sit down. And everybody started giving out a card. It was a Christmas card from Pastor. And I was like, oh, thank you. And before I left, someone said, did you open your card? And I said, no, I know it's a Christmas card from Pastor. They said, open your card. I remember opening that card that day. And when I opened the card, there was $200 in the card. This was a year where I felt like I was paying bills that I thought I would never see ever paid. I felt like everything in this season was being taken away from me. I had no idea that when I saw that money, when I saw that something was coming into me, that was God speaking to me, telling me that guess what? I know you feel like this season is all bad, but I remember you and I believe in you. And everything that you've been asking and wanting, I promise you, I'm going to make sure that you have it 10 years from now. But I want you to maintain and keep your faith. I couldn't have thanked Pastor Say more that day because all I did was see it. I remember taking that money. I went to go see my, at the time, girlfriend. And I said, here, you take this $100. I'm going to keep 100. You keep 100 because I'm investing that I'm going to marry you one day. For the first time, it felt like something was being given to me in this season instead of it being taken away. This is how Martha and Mary felt when they lost their brother, that everything had been taken away. But I want you to look at how Jesus responds. Didn't I tell you, hold on, wait a minute. Didn't I tell you that if you believe, that you would see the glory of God. So we now have 3 if statements, 2 by Martha and Mary, and now Jesus comes with his intentional faith, calling on us to believe, that we would see the glory of God if we believe. Lazarus, come forth. You see, I always saw this as that they were excited because their brother was now resurrected. But God's intention was not just to give them their brother back. He wanted everybody to see the glory of God. You see, when I saw that $200 wasn't going to change my life at that time. It wasn't going to pay all of my bills. But at that moment, I saw the glory of God, that God had not forgotten about me, and that if I continued to hold on to my faith, that God would say, I will show you my glory. And that led me to understanding that our intentional faith is going to lead to immediate love. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He gave. Jesus wants us to know that, yes, we know God loves us, but how do we get to feel and experience the love of God? By seeing God's glory. That's how we can immediately feel the love of God. Lazarus, come forward. When they saw him walk out, they experienced God's glory, but they immediately felt God's love. What happens after that? All the people said they were all witnesses to what happened. They were all witnesses. They were proof that your intentional faith will lead to your immediate love. Jesus decided in that moment that he wanted to give Lazarus back to Mary and to Martha. It was a gift, but we saw the glory of God and we experienced his love. So tonight, I just simply want to leave you with this. As we close the If series, your intentional faith will lead to your immediate healing. Your intentional faith will lead to your immediate freedom, and your intentional faith will lead to your immediate love. God bless you. I love you tonight. And we still not done. We still got some stuff that we got to give away tonight.